Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's episode is a part of Re-Japanese series where I, as a Japanese person, go learn about Japanese culture but from non-Japanese people. So today's episode, I'm learning about shamisen. And we have a special guest, Mike Penny-san.
Hello, konnichiwa.
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
We literally just met.
Yes, my name's Mike Penny. I'm basically an LA native and I started playing Tsugaru Shamisen, this 3-string Japanese lute, about 18 years ago when I was 18.
Years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
half my life ago.
He actually played for Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about like your experience on the project?
Sure. I forget how they found out about me. I think they actually went to my YouTube and they were searching for local shamisen players. And they asked me to play and they invited me in to record. I just spent one night recording all of my takes.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 4 or 5 hours. It was a great experience. I loved the score.
I love their music.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I heard that he played for Ghost of Tsushima, I was like, wow, this is perfect for this channel. Apparently, he also speaks Japanese.
はい、日本語も18年くらい勉強してます。
すごいですね。で、青森に行ったんですよね、ちょっと。
そうですね、2年間ぐらいあそこで勉強しました。
What was the very reason you started playing shamisen in the first place?
I'd been a pretty serious guitarist and percussionist and instrumentalist before that. I went to a world music camp held every year in Northern California in the woods. That's where I first saw shamisen performed by the guy who later became my teacher, Kevin Metz. He provided the shamisen on the Kubo and the 2 Strings film soundtrack.
Ah, yeah. I've watched that film.
But I saw him performing and I was just so blown away by the power and the tone and the look of it. I mean, I saw this awesome instrument with yellow strings and I just thought, wow, what is that?
I feel like it might be my first time to actually see shamisen up close like this.
Oh my goodness, this is a momentous day.
Well, because I didn't even know like these strings are yellow.
Oh yes. This is a synthetic skin, so this is just like a kind of canvas. Traditionally it was, should I say?
Yeah.
Dog skin. But nowadays they tend to do synthetic.
So you started having interest, you started learning, and right away did you go to Japan?
Maybe a year and a half after I started learning.
Okay.
So I moved to Santa Cruz, California, where that gentleman I saw playing.
Wow. That's crazy though, like you decided to move just to learn shamisen.
Yeah, crazy.
And then you ended up going to Japan for the same reason.
In 2006, I went for the first time and that was a whirlwind because I went for 2 months.
その時は日本語は話せたんですか？
そんなに話せなかったんですが、話が半分ぐらい分かっていた頃でした。
How was your experience there?
It was great. Aomori was just the right pace for me. It was a little slower pace and kind of rural, which I like. That was great for me from a Japanese language learning perspective, just being there and having something to do, focus on, shamisen. That really forced me to gear up. Any sensei I'd meet would speak in Japanese, so it was really invaluable practice.
Right. And before finding, this instrument and fell in love, did you have an interest in any other Japanese cultural aspects before?
I can't say I really did, no.
Wow.
Yeah, it was all shamisen. And then from there, then it was like, oh, there's this whole world of other neat stuff. So I got into literature and movies.
Yeah. What was the most challenging part learning this, Japanese instrument as a non-Japanese person?
That's a good question, yeah, because when I started, it was 2004, and back then on the internet, it wasn't like it is today. There were no English learning materials.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I decided I should learn Japanese is, I'm not going to be able to understand any books or anything, so.
Right.
But from a kind of cultural perspective, social cultural perspective, trying to find your place in that world, which is a very traditional world.
Yeah.
And I obviously do not look like a traditional Tsugaru shamisen player, so trying to like navigate that world and be respectful. You want to tread lightly, you don't want to offend anyone, and you want to just take up as little space as possible and listen and learn, soak up as much as you can. So just trying to find my identity in the world took a while.
You can be honest on this. Did you feel welcomed in the community?
I'm happy to say I was pleasantly surprised. Everyone was really welcoming, truly.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I expected maybe some pushback, but no one did. I'd say actually more pushback came from, interestingly enough, not that I experienced that much pushback, but some with like more American communities. Yeah.
Is the American shamisen player community, how big is that?
Oh, it's pretty big now. My good friend Kyle Abbott is a shamisen player and maker. And he started...
he makes it?
He makes his own shamisen. He made a book showing you the schematics, how to make a shamisen. And he started this great online community for English speakers called Bachido. And through that, the numbers have just grown enormously. So there's a lot of shamisen players here in the States.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite shamisen player?
Yeah, off the top of my head, Nitta Masahiro. He's fantastic. He and his father, they perform together as Nitta Oyako. Asano Sho is another. These are all winners of the tournament in Japan.
Oh, wow.
I would say Yoshida Kyodai are the biggest internationally, but in Japan there are lots of successful, well-known shamisen performers. Hiromitsu Agatsuma is another well-known one. What's neat is even though it's a big world, everybody kind of comes together every year for the Zenkoku Taikai.
Oh, I see.
So it kind of feels like a tight community, even though everyone's spread out all over Japan and the world. But
Right. What do you usually play?
It depends which day and where I am. I certainly write a lot of music for myself, my own original compositions, but then what I get hired to play usually at events and things is traditional Tsugaru shamisen minyo, Tsugaru minyo. But I've played in Eastern European gypsy bands. I've played with jazz ensembles, classical music.
So he has a YouTube channel. If you guys are interested, please check out, is it just Mike Penny or?
Yeah, I think you can find me. It's Mike Penny 01, but just Mike Penny Shamisen should bring it up.
Can you actually teach me a little bit of shamisen? Like how you can make sound and stuff? I haven't even held shamisen in my life. Oh!
It's a 3-stringed fretless lute. And the strings themselves are made from silk and nylon. The third string, the one that the melody is typically played on, so that it has that nice ringing tone, it's a different material, because if you were to play that on this one has a wind.
Should I hold it?
Yes, please. So your posture's great.
This is a lot heavier than I thought.
Itomaki, these are called. Tuning pegs should be lined up more or less with your eye. The bachi, this is the plectrum used. So for this, just take these 3 fingers, place them kind of at the knuckle, and grip like that, like a claw. Your forearm, you always have it touching the body. Guitar or something like that, you would think you're going to play it like this, right? At an angle.
Right.
For shamisen, you're actually treating this kind of like a drum and a guitar. So you're trying to strike through the string and hit this drum.
So, じゃあこう弾くんじゃなくて叩く。
叩くんです。How about we try to just do a nice classic Tsugaru shamisen tataki sound.
Okay.
The tricky thing is you got to keep your arm still on here. So what happens is you got to twist your arm in. There you go. We're going to do 2 hits. One and then a really hard one. So light, hard. Da-da. Forearm touching the bass, and then I'm curling in. I almost bounce off of the first one, and then the second one.
Light, hard. It's very hard not to hit other strings.
But you gotta give it your all. Da-da.
Da-da ってね。 makes me nervous.
Go for it. You know how my teacher described it? Pretend the string isn't there, and what you're actually aiming for is under the string. You're trying to hit this. Yeah, there you go.
あ、ちょっといけるようになってきたな。どう？いい？
Nice.
ちょっともう一回やらして。
おー、いい音出しました。
よし、合格？ Very, very difficult. 思ったより柔らかい。I thought it's very like hard string, but it's actually pretty soft.
Yeah. Traditionally, they were catgut.
ああ、そうなんだ。
And then they switched to silk or nylon.
I bet a lot of, especially young people, they had never held shamisen. で、自分もそうだし、これ、it's my first time, right? It feels like really, I don't know, I feel more Japanese now. It's kind of funny holding it. But thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
So now, because he has participated in Ghost of Tsushima project, he's gonna play the theme song. Is it theme song or?
I think, yeah, the main theme.
Yeah, main theme song by Shamisen, and I'll try to collaborate with my sword. Let's do it.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play.